Good morning, Sunday morning, August 8th, 2021, continuing my analysis of baseball players who are in the Hall of Fame and their significance, achievements, accomplishments, stats. I've gone over a lot of aspects of baseball. This episode will be episode 245. I'm going to analyze the 57 greatest baseball players who scored runs. Runs scored statistics. There are 57 who accomplished something very significant. I want to go over it. And I want to go over their percentage of runs scored per games played. For example, if someone played 1,000 games and they scored 1,000 runs, what would that be? That would be a percent of 100%, right? It's a 1 run scored per game played, 1.0. If they played 1,000 games and scored 500 runs, that would be a run every 2 games, so it'd be 0.50%. I came across players who are in the Hall of Fame, 57 of them, who have a great percentage of scoring runs. Number 1 on the list, you won't believe this, he's an old school player. Played in the late 1800s, early 1900s. His name is Billy Hamilton. Listen to this stat. He played 1,594 games and scored 1,679 runs. That's more than a run per game. Are you following? And he's the only one in the history of baseball to accomplish that feat. So his percentage is 1.06 runs scored per game he played. A record. I'll say it again, 1,594 games, and he scored 1,679 runs. Who comes in number 2? Well, the person who is number 2 did not score a run per game like Billy Hamilton did. He comes under it. His percentage is 0.895 runs per game, less than 1 run per game. He played 1,737 games and scored 1,554 runs. His name is Hugh Duffy. So I have 7 players who are in the 80%. 80% of the games they played, they scored a run. Whereas Billy Hamilton, 100% of the games he played, he scored a run. So Hugh Duffy, 0.895. Lou Gehrig, number 3, 0.878. 1,800 runs scored, and it took him 2,164 games. Number 4, Ed Delante, 0.871. 1,837 games, 1,600 runs scored. Number 5, a guy named Babe Ruth, 0.868. 2,503 games, and he scored 2,174 runs. He's part of the 2,000 runs scored club, and there's very few players. I think there's 5. Am I correct? Yep. Number 1, Rickey Henderson. Number 2, Ty Cobb. Number 3, Pete Rose. Number 4, Henry Aaron. Number 5, Willie Mays, and Babe Ruth. So there's 6 players in the 2,000 runs scored club. But Babe ranks number 5, 0.868. Number 6 on the list, Jim O'Rourke, 1,999 games, 1,729 runs scored. Number 7, Roger Connor, .811. 1,998 games, 1,620 runs scored. Number 8, Willie Keeler, .809. 2,123 games, 1,719 runs scored. Number 9 on the list, Cap Hansen, 2,524 games. Listen to this, 1,999 runs scored. Cap, why not one more run for the 2,000 runs scored club? Number 10, Bid McPhee. Okay, Camp Hansen was .792, so he starts the 70% club. And Big McPhee, .787, 2,138 games, runs scored, 1,684. So that's the top 10. So Billy Hamilton's number 1, 1.06%. Then you have the guys in the 80% range. Hugh Duffy, 8.95. Lou Gehrig, .878. Ed Delonte, .871. Babe Ruth, .868. Jim O'Rourke, .865. Roger Connor, .811. Willie Keeler, .809. That's the 80% club. Then you have Camp Hansen, .792, the 70% club. And Big McPhee, .787. I'll go through the rest of these players. I won't mention the runs and the games. It'll take too long. I'll just mention their percent, okay? So these guys are in the 70% range. Ted Williams, .784. Charlie Gehringer, .764. Jimmy Fox, .756. Rickey Henderson, all-time leaders in runs scored, 2,295 runs, but he's .744 because he played 3,000 games and only 2,295 runs scored. See, he's not a run per game. He's in the 70% range. Ty Cobb, .740. He's in the 2,000 run scored club. 2,245, 3,034 games. See. Fred Clark, .722. So that's the 70% club. All right. Who's in that club? Camp Hansen, Big McPhee, Ted Williams, Charlie Gehringer, Jimmy Fox, Rickey Henderson, Ty Cobb, Fred Clark. Now, these are the guys in the 60% club. There's one. No. Forgot one more player in the 70% club, and that's Jeff Bagwell, .706. All right, and then in the 60% club, there's a lot of players. I mean, it goes all the way. It's about 30 players in the 60% club. And then you have the 50% club. Starting off 60%, Hank Aaron, member of the 2,000 runs scored club. 2,174 runs, but it took him 3,298 games. .659. All right, continuing 60% club. Pete Rose, 2,165 runs, but it took 3,562 games. .607. Roger Hornsby, .699. Mickey Mantle, .698. Willie Mays, .689. He's a member of the 2,000 run club. Who's in the 2,000 run scored club? Again, I'll mention it really quickly, okay? 2,000 runs. Rickey Henderson, 2,295. Ty Cobb, 2245. Hank Aaron, 2174. Babe Ruth, 2174. Pete Rose, 2165. And Willie Mays, 2062. And Camp Hansen missed it by 1999. All right. 60% Club. Mel Ott, 0.681. Al Simmons, 0.6080. Tris Speaker, 0.674. Jake Beckley, 0.670. Paul Molitor, 0.664. Dan Brothers, 0.663. Frankie Frisch, 0.663. Frank Robinson, George Davis, 0.651. Chipper Jones, 0.648. Craig Biggio, 6.647. Eddie Collins, Stan Musial, 0.644. Paul Wayner, 0.638. Roberto Alomar, 0.633. Eddie Matthews, 0.631. Sam Rice, 0.629. Tim Raines, 0.622. Mike Schmidt, 0.626. Max Carey, 0.624. Joe Morgan, 0.623. Hannes Wagner, Jim Thome, and Ken Griffey, 0.622. Wade Boggs, 0.620. Lou Brock, 0.615. Nap Lajoie, 0.606. 30 players in the 60% club. And the 50% club, rounding off, number 50 on the list, Carl Yastrzemski, 0.549. George Brett, 0.585. Al Kaline, 0.572. Robin Yount, 0.571. Dave Winfield, 0.561. Reggie Jackson, 0.550. Cal Ripken, 0.549. Eddie Murray, number 57 on the list, 0.538. There are other players in the 50% club, but I stopped it at number 57. What do you think? Who are the greatest players in baseball history who scored runs at the highest percentage of games played? That was my analysis. Billy Hamilton. Let me give you a stat on Billy Hamilton. You're going to be amazed at this. All right, I'm going to put him in. Bill. Let's see. Listen to this on Billy Hamilton. Billy H. Here he is. Look at this. I've got his stats pulled up. He's number one. Let's go back. It came up with a new, this one. 1894, okay? Billy Hamilton. Listen to these stats. He was 5'6", 165 pounds, born in 1866, but he played from 1888 to 1901. Billy Hamilton. He is number one as far as percentage of runs scored per games played in Major League history. 1.06 runs scored for every game he played. Listen to this. You ready? These are his stats as far as runs scored. First year, 21 runs, okay? Second year, 144, then 133, 141, 132, 110. 1894, he scored 198 runs in 132 games. Then 166, 153, 152, 110, 63, 103, 71. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 times out of 14 years, he scored over 100 runs and he had 198 one season. He almost had that magical 200 runs scored in one season. Incredible. Okay. He's the only member of the 1.06 club, the 100% club. Only member out of 15,000 baseball players who played. What gives? What's up? Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members of the 80% club. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 members of the 70% club, 30 members of the 60% club, and then the rest are in the 50% or lower. What do you think? Who is the player that I would pick if I wanted somebody to score a run in a game? Score a run across home plate. I need someone to score the run. Well, the only thing with Billy Hamilton, he played 1,594 games. See, Rickey Henderson and Ty Cobb, they both played 3,000, and so did Hank Aaron and Pete Rose. So you have to go with, as far as scoring a run, Rickey Henderson, 3,081 games, and he scores 2,295. So that's about 700 games he did not score a run. Ty Cobb, same thing, about 700 games. Hank Aaron is about 900 games. Pete Rose, it was about, look at this, about 1,300 games. Willie Mays, about 700 games. Babe Ruth was only about 400 games. So who do you pick? Well, Billy Hamilton doesn't have enough games. You got to have over 2,000 games. So you got to go with Babe Ruth. He only has, it looks like about 350 games that he did not score a run. Now, you can say that many games he'll score 2 or 3 or 4 runs, but if you average it out, there's 300 games. If he had scored a run in those other 300 games, he would have had a run per game. But it's only 300 game difference there. Camp Hansen has about 500 game difference. Ted Williams, another one. It's only about 350 game difference between games played and runs scored. You got to go with, Lou Gehrig. He's about 300 games too. So as far as scoring a run, Lou Gehrig has over 2,000. So does Ted Williams as far as games played. Ted Williams and Lou Gehrig both have 2,000. Same with Babe Ruth. See, Billy Hamilton only has a 1,594. Hugh Duffy, 1,737 games. Ed Delante, only 1,837. Jim O'Rourke comes close. 1,999 games. 1,700 runs scored. So he has a difference of about 250 games, but he didn't pass the 2,000 game criteria that I'm looking for right now. You got to say, as far as analyzing this, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Ted Williams. Those three guys had over 2,000 games, and they came the closest of having a run scored per game, as far as the criteria of over 2,000 games played. Because even though Ty Cobb and Rickey Henderson have over 2,000 runs, it took them 3,000 games to do it. Same with Henry Aaron and Pete Rose. Willie Mays also, he's a member of the 2,000. So the top three Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Ted Williams as far as analyzing runs scored and who you would want to be the closest to scoring a run for your team. What do you think of that analysis? Okay. I'm going to do something different on the next one. There's a analysis that I've been thinking about. Who was the fastest player to score 3,000 hits? Because there's about 20 guys in the Hall of Fame who have 3,000 or more hits. I think it's 20. I'll do the exact number. But who is the fastest? And what order are they ranked? That'll be my next episode. Thanks for watching. I'm out.